Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is set to include many new elements and aspects of the Star Wars franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one great thing about this film is that we do know that there will be a lot of revelations in this movie that's going to change our view on The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and I guess you could say the more controversial part about all of this is that it will have a dramatic effect on the prequels and the originals, which may be a good or a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting and intriguing for this film. Now, specifically, is shot descriptions consisting of both Rey and Kylo Ren chasing each other on speeders, where both of their lightsabers are clashing against each other while they are riding on the speeders. It's said that in the distance there are many Star Destroyers in the sky, as well as Resistance cruisers over the surface of this unknown world. Another describes Rey and Kylo Ren now clashing both of their lightsabers together on foot, where it's said that the environment around them begins to crumble and change to a snowy world. It's described that both Kylo and Rey are fighting on the edge of a cliff on a snowy planet that may or may not be Hoth from Empire Strikes Back, where one of the sequences involves where Rey is able to graze Kylo's arm with her lightsaber, causing an injury to Kylo where it's said it causes him to shift into a fit of rage and begins to make two powerful strikes at Rey's saber, causing her to fall down a hill of snow and dropping her hilt, where she is able to force push Kylo Ren into the air, where she runs toward him with her lightsaber, and as they clash, it's described that the snow planet begins to vanish and shifts back to the First Order headquarters, where now it's described that in the background, during their duel, the First Order TIE Echelons and Interceptors are seen crashing down in the background as the Millennium Falcon is taking them down in the distance, that is said to be piloted by Lando Calrissian. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, obviously, this is yet again another little hint at flash fights being a big thing in Episode 9 for their second lightsaber duel. Now, flash fights, in case you guys did not know, are a mixture of force bonds, flashbacks, and regular lightsaber duels. I want to actually discuss this snowy world and why I believe it is in fact going to be the planet of Hoth. Now, we do know that George Lucas was heavily involved in the process of choosing, specifically handpicking some of the planets from the originals and the prequels that would eventually show up in the flash fights between both Rey and Kylo. So I honestly don't see Hoth as, you know, like a big thing that's not going to actually happen. I think that most likely this snowy world is going to be the planet of Hoth, where both Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting each other inside of this flash fight sequence. So like I say, you know, we do know that they are returning to multiple planets like Mustafar, Tatooine, Naboo, Endor, the list goes on. Basically, the flash fights are, of course, a type of lightsaber duel that's going to take us down a trip in memory lane of all the different eras of the Star Wars movies. So this planet in particular, alright, this snowy world where Rey eventually falls down a cliff, alright, down a hill of snow where Kylo Ren eventually is able to strike against Rey, before the whole entire environment begins to shift and change back to the First Order headquarters, where they're once again fighting each other on, of course, you know, the First Order battlefield, where the Millennium Falcon is said to be in the background and being piloted by Lando Calrissian, taking down numerous TIE Echelons and TIE Interceptors. Now, prior to all of this, I want to go over how Rey is able to strike Kylo Ren and cause an injury to his forearm. Now, this actually causes him to go into a fit of rage and strike, you know, two powerful strikes at Rey's lightsaber, causing her to fall down and roll down that hill of snow that eventually leads to this sequence. So you can really see how the Force, you know, bonds and the flashbacks and the flash forwards are going to evolve into these flash fights in a very unique and specific way, where JJ, George Lucas, and Chris Terrio were able to bring us back to other worlds related to the prequels and the originals in a very unique way. So what I like about this is that it really does evolve the idea of lightsaber duels. I know that there are people out there that are against this idea of flash fights, which is perfectly fine and okay and all. But one thing I will say is that I am really also looking forward to the other lightsaber duel that is said to be a traditional one, where it's not going to be a flash fight, it's just going to be both Rey and Kylo Ren fighting on an unknown world. However, that one specifically is said to be a shorter duel between the two. I think that honestly this shows that J.J. Abrams has a vision for Episode 9. He's very ambitious and goal-driven about this movie, and he's pouring his heart and soul into this story during post-production as he's adding in all the special effects, the music eventually that will be added in by John Williams, and I think that not only is this a poetic way of taking us back to the originals and the prequels, but it's also another great way in order to give us something new and unique that's really going to kind of evolve what was already planted in The Force Awakens with the Force bonds that grew in The Last Jedi and that is now going to hit its peak in Episode 9. So anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.